Okay, everyone, day 10. Day 10, quitting marijuana, quitting THC cannabis, really. And I'm going to do another test, a double test today. One, it will be urine test sample, and one will be sweat. Because basically I realized that this test, the kit, is made for trace of THC in metabolites in after the metabolism, okay, in the chemicals that leave my body. And the saliva yesterday, if you watch day 9, it was a negative for the saliva but a positive for the urine test yesterday. And in theory, because both sweat and wee contain metabolites, they should both have the same outcome. And yes, I expect to be positive because it takes, now you convinced me all, it's gonna take 80 days for the THC to leave my body, to be clean of THC after 3 years of use. I'll go for a run and I'm gonna take some pictures, sightseeing pictures of Rotherham in England, in Yorkshire. I don't know how many you've been in Rotherham. It's a nice little town, and today we have some glorious weather. 6:30 p.m. so we get some sunset. See you in like half an hour. I need to get a sweat first. So where I'm gonna collect the sweat is an issue, but not a big issue. There you go, a new one. So this is then day 10 with an S. 10 and an S. 10S for the sweat. My eyebrows are wet because I had a hat on. My forehead. I know, not very good television. 10S, okay, let's wait. And I'll go and have a urine test. Quick tip for you, if you want to get the sweat collected, you have to wait a little bit after the exercise, because then your body really heats up once you stopped. And you can collect more easy. Okay, so we have 10 normal urine sample and 10S for the sweat. I want to put here some of the sightseeing video of my run. Have you been to Rotherham before? Make up your mind about it. Hey, so you can see here I've got the sweat test is negative, but the urine test is positive. So they are different results, and it shouldn't be according to theory where they are all measuring the body's metabolites, you know. But that's interesting, and that's why they do say that the most reliable test is actually the blood tests. I'm not going to have that test because I don't have the equipment, but it's interesting. I still have the THC in my body, and day 10. I give it as long as it takes. Why? I've answered this question before, because I really want to get to ground zero. Without any THC in my body, without any CBD in my body, and then see again where I am, what really benefits me. Do I really need THC or just CBD is enough? And I'm looking at CBD full spectrum. And then when I get a negative for THC, then I'm looking at choosing CBD full spectrum and then measuring if that leaves any trace of THC, because I really hope it doesn't. Yeah. I also realized that it's substance abuse for THC in my case, and that's got to do with my personality, me being addictive, having an addictive personality. Not that THC is necessarily addictive. I don't smoke cigarettes, so I don't have that addiction to nicotine at all. And clearly, this exercise and exercise and sports will help me get rid of extra body fat, and that will help actually eliminate the THC, which gets stored in my fats. I want to make another point, because these videos are watched by people that take an interest in CBD, in hemp, in cannabis, marijuana, and I want to show you a good way to look at sources for information, because we all know we know a lot, we all engaged in conversations, but I think I can show you a very good way to test our knowledge and verify with factual and scientific data what we know and what we tell others. Google Scholar. So I will compare with you. I will show you a comparison, putting in Google or normal search CBD versus THC, or CBD and THC comparison. That you get a certain list for answers on normal Google search, and you will find a completely different list if you go on Google Scholar. And I'll show you what the difference is, and I will show you why Google Scholar, it's a much better search for correct information on this topic. So really, if you go in on Google, let me go on Google, yeah? And you just put in CBD versus THC. Healthline is fine. Leafly. Endoca is business. Images, businesses. First Crop, business. WebMD is okay. YouTube, Mashable, Very Well Mind. These, most of them are businesses, and you get some information, and basically before you buy all sorts all the time. On a normal Google search, you will get commercial information most of the time. So I want you to pay attention to this. So we're going on Google Scholar instead. Google Scholar is the first result, and basically CBD compared to THC. That's what I did, and I should zoom it a little bit, but basically on every article listed you have scientific materials that are peer reviewed, all updated versions, and you really have at every given time all the authors' names and where it has been published, what pages. So really you avoid just taking somebody's opinion. You go straight away to resources, and that's really relevant for your own research, and it's really very, very important when you write a blog, and you at least make sure you get useful information. And you can see how many people used this information. So obviously if somebody cited an article 24 times, it's a good sign that that material was reviewed by other experts and agreed with. Okay, and sometimes it happens that other scientists look at these articles and request changes as new evidence comes up. So there are new editions, new versions of this document all the time. They are working documents, but at least whatever you read on this, Google Scholar is the most up-to-date scientific material on that topic. Google Scholar, much better than any Google search. I wanted to share this with you because I always test what I hear, what people tell me, the experts. I always test looking at Google Scholar. Yeah, that's your test for today. Thank you for your support. I do this quite selfishly for me to commit to get myself clean. I can only do it by thinking every day, I have to do this, I have to avoid THC, I have to avoid CBD. And in my case, I really believe it's not high level of addiction. No, it was substance abuse. And I have the energy back already. I will have to work quite a lot to get my focus back and my mental power and concentration, but it's a work in progress. How many days do you think I've got this till I get a negative THC result? This little stubble is my detox stubble. I hope I'm not gonna have a big, long, bushy ZZ Top beard until I get the THC out of my system. See you tomorrow, day 11.